for governor for the Libertarian Party, I am very pleased to present Catherine Youngblood Glass.
Is anybody here from Texas?
Huh?
Is anybody here tired of paying high taxes? Yes, well, we got Texas and we got taxes. Two words that sound a lot alike, got the same letters in them, but that's where the similarity ends.
Hold the microphone up.
I don't.
Can't hear you.
Hello.
Right up to your mouth.
Like this?
Hey!
Right. You know, I'm Catherine Youngblood Glass, and I'm running for governor as a Libertarian, but I'm not here to promote my campaign. Not really. No, I'm here to talk to you about what's going on in our country. I mean, the very fact that you would show up and turn out like this on a day like this tells me that you're as concerned as I am about what's happening to our country and that we need to do something to turn this thing around. I see the signs of a movement. I think a movement's got 4 stages. First is awareness that there's a problem. Second is education about what the problem is. Third is organizing, getting ready. And then the fourth one is taking action. Taking some kind of concrete action, some kind of real see results. Because I love a philosophical debate just as much as anybody. But the time for just talking is past. We need to start doing something because our country is in trouble.
Yeah.
We are at a pivotal crossroads in our country's history. Things are happening to take away our freedoms that we never thought we'd see in our lifetime. I don't know where it's going to end, but I know it's getting worse. And I see we have to do something to save this, and that's what we're all trying to do something. Some of us are turning out for rallies like this. We're on the internet. We're talking to people, and I'm running for office because I think that we have to take a stand in Texas. Texas has to be strong, be firm, take a position against what is happening to our freedoms from Washington, D.C. Texas can do this. We must be the bulwark. We must be the beacon for liberty. We've done it before. We've been it before. And we can do this again.
Yeah.
And I want to make one thing clear. I'm not talking about secession. This is not the time for that. I'm talking about reasserting our sovereignty, our 9th and 10th Amendment sovereignty, to keep the federal government in its proper place, only doing the enumerated powers, Article 1, Section 8. That's what I'm talking about. My key issue is nullification and interposition. We need to have a special session. I don't know why, well, I do know, but our current policymakers are not going to do this. They will not. But we need to have a special session so we can get the legislature in session and nullify. And I'm not just talking about Obamacare. Although Louisiana has introduced a bill to nullify Obamacare, and other states are doing many things along this line. What is Texas doing? Nothing. Then that's a disgrace. That's sad. I mean, Texas we've been our own country. We know how to act like a sovereign. We ought to start acting like a sovereign state.
We need a third party. Republic of Texas.
I was reading a book called The Law by Frederick Bastiat the other day, rereading it. And he was an 18th century economist, philosopher. And he talked about 3 types of plunder. When the few plunder from the many, he calls that limited plunder. And then when everybody plunders from everybody, he calls that universal plunder. And then when no one plunders from anybody, well, he didn't give that a name, but that's libertarianism. That's the non-aggression principle that libertarians are founded upon. I would add to Bastiat's list a fourth one, and that is when the many plunder from the few. And I think that's what we've got now with our taxes, where a small percentage pay most of the taxes. And I'm one of the few, and I'm tired of being plundered upon. I tell you, it's the few, we're the few. If you're productive and you pay taxes, consider yourself one of the few. We're the few, the productive, and the fed up with taxes. We're talking today about taxes, mostly income taxes because of the day it is, but it's not just income taxes. It's here in Texas, it's property taxes. Taxes so high that they run you out of house and home. So high that people say you don't never really own your property, even when you've paid off your mortgage. You're just renting it from the government. We need to have serious reform in Texas, property tax relief, eliminate all we can, reduce what we can, but that's something that has to be done. And our current government officials, what are they doing about it? Well, nothing. They don't think they need to. They think they fixed this problem. But we know they didn't.
No.
Our taxes are just going up, and they're going to keep going. But that's a kind of taxation that we don't think about too much on this day, but it's real and it's serious in Texas.
No. Third parties, Democrats win.
No, that's not
Ross
true.
Perot. Ross
That's what happened. You're right.
Winston Churchill described 4 stages of a fight for the right. So the first stage is when you can easily win, and it won't cost you too much. Second stage is, it's going to be hard, and it will cost a lot, but you're likely to win. The third stage is when you may not win, and it's going to cost a whole lot. And the fourth stage is when you're not going to win, but you'd rather go down fighting than live as a slave. Well, I don't like that last one, the sound of that. I don't know where we are, probably between the second and third stage. That's why I say we need to group together, band together. We need to start taking effective action now before it gets too late, before the cost, as high as it is now, before it gets really high.